In this video, I'm going to talk about two best English grammar books that will help you improve immediately. In the world of language, grammar seems to be the unsung hero, just like sadly Severus Snape in the Harry Potter world. And yet bad grammar can be like kryptonite. Poor English grammar can take down the mightiest of heroes, and you might remember world leaders producing language like misunderestimate, internet, the Google, United States and America will lose big, and the very soul of the nation, soul spelled S-O-L-E instead of S-O-U-L. So whether you're a busy student, an adult learner of English, an entrepreneur who writes daily business emails, an Instagram influencer, or a wordsmith in the making, you absolutely need good grammar. I'd go as far as to say that good grammar is a treasure. But what if you want to make progress fast? Worry not, this is exactly why I'm making this video, so as to recommend only two English grammar books that you might need. And who am I to be talking about this? Well, I've been working with adults since 2012. I've been a university tutor, I've been a secondary school teacher, and a lover of grammar through and through. So, what are the best English grammar books? Well, they're not necessarily the ones that actually call themselves the best grammar book ever. That's no guarantee. They're not the ones going for an unusual angle either, such as grammar book with laughter. Believe me, the fun is taken out of any class where you need to explain puns and punchlines to confuse students. What my educational experience has taught me is that the best grammar books are the ones that help you improve immediately. So the two books that definitively meet this criterion would be, first of all, English Grammar in Use by Raymond Murphy. This is a Cambridge University press published book, and it's been called the Grammar Bible for language learners, rightly so. It's actually a secret weapon in the arsenal of many teachers as well. And I can assure you that learning English grammar and making progress fast don't get easier thanks to Murphy's best-selling publication. If you're worried that this book has been written with intermediate learners in mind, don't be. Beginner learners I've worked with have found the book perfectly accessible. Now, to give you a few examples, do you want to revise tenses like present perfect or the slightly terrifying future perfect? The book will help you with that. What about articles, relative clauses, and conjunctions? Taken care of. Murphy's book will even help you with any preposition insecurities, which are very common even in the case of advanced learners, so that you avoid these grammatical stumbles. So I'd say that this book has it all. In terms of its format, there's a lot of theory on the left-hand side and then lots of practice on the right-hand side. And this is ideal for your focus on one grammar point at a time. Real-world examples are supplied throughout. But by far the best feature of the book remains its illustrations, which are really worth 1,000 words. These illustrations are like grammar emojis, conveying complex ideas with a wink and a nod. Let me recap the key benefits of having this book. You'll make progress fast thanks to crystal clear explanations. You won't frown and say, oh, I really don't get this. You'll learn about all essential grammar points because, as the title says, Murphy focuses on the grammar used in everyday life. You'll be supported by plenty of visual aids, and even some exercises are picture-based. I believe you'll find the structure logical throughout, going from simple to complex, just like in mathematics. You'll definitely be able to use the book for self-study, which is very convenient. You'll get a great deal of practice with the answer key provided at the back of the book, so you don't really need to ask a teacher for the answers. You'll see an example for each exercise before you attempt it, so you feel confident about what you need to do. You're offered an additional study guide at the end to further improve, and you're even provided with an alphabetical index, meaning you'll quickly be able to find the words you're looking for, from apostrophe to whom, the very tricky to use whom. In my personal experience, saying that this grammar book is the best out there is definitely an understatement. I've used it as a teacher more times than I recall, and many students of mine have actually asked for additional practice, grammar practice from Murphy's book, and I think that says it all in terms of how eager students are to study from this great book. So if you want to get the 5th edition now, which is the most recent edition of the book, you can do so by clicking on the link provided in the video description below. By doing that, you'll be supporting my channel, my very small channel, and it's also at no additional cost to you. I can assure you there's no extra charge by using that link. The second book I want to recommend is called Advanced Language Practice by Michael Vince. This is the runner-up, but at the same time the LeBron James of language mastery, because it's both a grammar and a vocabulary book for advanced learners, meaning you get 2 valuable books for the price of 1. What does the publication cover? As expected, some more high-level grammar, and I'll give you some examples. Conditionals, inversions, the subjunctive. If you don't know what these are, you will by using Vince's book. Phrasal verbs, which are so tricky to use, have their own dedicated sections. Punctuation is covered as well. And in terms of vocabulary, you have topics that go from leisure activities and social problems to news events and government. So you'll decipher the mysteries of countless nouns and adjectives connected to these. My favorite bit, just like my favorite bit in Murphy's book, would be the illustrations. In Vince's book, you have lots of collocations and phrases. What are collocations? Well, to put it simply, they're word combinations. Just like people, words can decide to like each other or not, or to be used with each other or not. And that means that if there's beef between them, you can't really use them together. An example being, we say do research, not make research. Vince elegantly explains this and offers a wide collection of expressions and collocations for an equally wide variety of contexts. And to see what I mean, because I provide a visual example of this, you can again click on one of the links provided in the description below, which will take you to my blog post on the same topic, and I think the visual support there will be of benefit to you. Speaking of benefits, what are the benefits of having this book? Well, as already mentioned, you'll learn about both grammar and vocabulary, and you can focus on either because they are dealt with separately in the book. You'll work with sophisticated sentences because again we're talking about a high-level grammar book, so it will help you improve your formal English. You are provided with the answers to all exercises. You'll find out how to avoid common mistakes in speech and writing, for example, how not to confuse similar words. You'll get consolidation practice, so that will reinforce complex grammatical points and concepts, and just like with Murphy's book, you'll be able to look up terms using the alphabetical index. In my personal experience, this book is ideal for business students, for professionals, and overall for those interested in more formal English. It's just fabulous for proficiency levels. Get this book if you want the extra challenge, and if you want to, you can use the link provided below. How can best grammar books benefit you? Let's recap. 2 main ways, I would say, because good grammar contributes to academic achievement, professional success, and avoidance of misunderstandings. Bad grammar will, of course, do the opposite. Secondly, and this is a lesser known benefit, knowing which books truly improve your grammar, and they do so fast, will help you avoid something called decision fatigue and or buyer's remorse. So if you imagine yourself being in a metaphorical candy store and not knowing what to choose, that can be tricky, right? So this is how I'm helping you now. I'm narrowing down your options to the very best, giving you a sense of control and contentment. As the adage goes, less is more. How I conducted my research, I think this is important for you to know. So I took several features into account, and this is the first aspect that I looked at, actually the features of the book, but I focused on your perspective. So I asked myself, what kind of explanation would I need if I wanted to really understand present perfect? Or how many examples would I require to get the order of adjectives in English? What practice would be best for me? Meaning not too easy, not too difficult given my level. And trust me, many books fail these tests, so only the top ones remain. I also looked at the cons of the book, because no grammar book is going to be perfect, even if it calls itself perfect. Sometimes you have that in the title, funnily enough. So I looked at anything that I didn't like as a professional, wordy or unintelligible explanations, outdated information, especially when it comes to very complex points such as the subjunctive, and even the potential for the reader to be misled by a less knowledgeable author. This can happen as well. So the books I've chosen have the fewest negatives of all, and in the interests of transparency, I did reveal the cons already, and you can also see them in my blog post on the same topic. Finally, I looked at pricing because who doesn't care about costs nowadays? Choosing books that don't have exorbitant prices was a priority for me, I can assure you. Now, if you do want more, if you want to splash out, I can recommend books such as Woe Is I by Patricia O'Connor, The Sense of Style by Steven Pinker, Grammar Snobs Are Great Big Meanies by June Casagrande, Oxford Guide to English Grammar by John Eastwood, Cambridge Grammar of English by Michael McCarthy, and The Best Punctuation Book, Period, again by June Casagrande. You'll see the links to these below. However, I would say that if you stick to Murphy's book, you'll be absolutely fine. It does contain everything you need, and by that I mean everything you will ever need in terms of English grammar. To wrap up, as you navigate the pages of these two English grammar books, treasures actually, that I recommend, remember that the journey to grammar mastery should be as enjoyable as reaching the destination. It certainly was for me. So as you make more and more progress, make sure to celebrate every aha moment, knowing that the path to proficiency asks for three things: patience, practice, and a dash of passion. If you've already used Murphy's book or are going to use it thanks to my recommendation, do share your experience in the comments below. Tell me what progress you've made. Tell me what favorite part of the book you want to recommend to others and all of that. Yes, I am very curious what you think, and I look forward to your grammatical triumph. Thanks for listening, and see you soon.